Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about the Book of Lairs. This is a review of the book. It's been out for a little while. There's not a lot of information on the Book of Lairs in terms of reviews. I've had a look on the internet. Most of the reviews have been very positive. What I will say is it's a compatible Dungeons & Dragons 5e book. It's basically a collection of small lairs or adventures that you can run. It's published by Kobold Press, who do pretty good stuff. It has an awe-inspiring cover with a dragon, and I'm going to just turn over the back and just detail some of the finer points, because the back actually highlights most of the really important stuff that you might need to know in terms of the supplements and the additional costs that might be involved. So the Book of Lairs brings you 24 great monster lairs for 5th ed edition. Each of these exciting and unusual backgrounds come with a complete short adventure, including a hook, area hazards, tactics, and treasure. And it lists a whole bunch, and I'm actually going to flick through this book and show you stuff as we go. It's designed by multiple people within the industry, top names, really well done. The Book of Lairs uses standard monsters that you can find in the monster manual for 5e, but it also uses quite a lot of monsters from the Tome of Beasts, which means you really need to have the Tome of Beasts to be able to use this supplement. The final part, and this seems to come up quite a bit, is the full Dungeon Master maps are included in the book, so they are there for the Dungeon Master. If you want matching high resolution battle maps, they are available for purchase from Kobold Press at an additional cost, and there is a Book of Lairs map pack. It's about $10 US, and you can get that as a separate PDF. When you buy the book off the Kobold Press website, you get the hardcover and the PDF at the same price, which essentially means you get the PDF for free, which personally I think that should be the going standard no matter what. So I'm going to just flick this back over, and I'm not going to go through all of the designers. This was originally a Kickstarter, my understanding, and it's got multiple designers. There's so many well-known people in this book. I can't list them all. You will sort of see a few names as we go. One of the key names I will point out is you've got Wolfgang Breyer, we've got Jeff Grubb, there's Mike Scholl. I don't know if many people know about him, but he's actually really good at what he does. Robert Adducci from the Dungeons & Dragons Adventurers League, and then there's Steve Winter. Now, as I flick through this, I'm going to sort of highlight the most important aspects. There's a total of 108 pages within this book, and about 102 pages are actually adventure content. It covers levels 1 through to 15, but it does exclude levels 2, 11, 12, and 13. And I'm not actually sure why they excluded that. It's got some really marvelous artwork right throughout, and the maps are really impressive. The editing and formatting are very good, and it's easy to follow. Brilliant maps, I have to say. I mean, as you can see it yourself. They are brilliant maps. They're quite amazing to look at. I'm not completely sold on everything here, but most of this is actually very positive. Although these maps do include information for the Dungeon Master only, the problem is if you have a map that's including stuff for the Dungeon Master only, it makes it a bit difficult for you to just go straight for a photocopy and then hand it out to your players. Not all of the maps are like that though. This book basically consists of adventures of 4 to 5 pages, one-shot adventures that you can run pretty easily. I don't think it would take an awful lot of preparation. The layout gives you a story background, adventure hook, your area details, and a conclusion at the end. There's a wide range of monsters included from the Tome of Beasts and the Monster Manual. The monsters are highlighted in a dark bold, so you can actually spot them easily, and they indicate which book they can be found in. They don't actually give you a page number, unfortunately, and I think that's probably because of copyright issues, although I don't think it would be an issue with something like the Tome of Beasts, but maybe it was just a matter of space within the book. The monster art is mostly from the Tome of Beasts, and it's glorious stuff. Some of it I think is original as far as I can tell. The problem with so many monsters being in the Tome of Beasts, as I said, is you pretty much there's no stat blocks included. So you really have to have the Tome of Beasts and this book for it to be of any use to you. Or you've got to try and figure out how to convert the monsters they have included from the Tome of Beasts and find something that matches up in the monster manual. The treasure is generous for most adventures throughout these layers. There is descriptive text that's all marked in red italic text. The book has 3 pages of advertising at the back of the book, which I'm going to show you shortly because we're heading that way anyway. You can purchase the book from Kobold Press on their website for $30 US, and this includes the PDF. Okay, so you can get the hard copy for $30, or you can just go for the package with the hard book and the PDF for $30. It's exactly the same price, so I don't know why you wouldn't do that. It would be silly. Amazon online is selling the book for $27 US, but I don't know if that actually includes the PDF in the book. The Book Depository selling the book at 46 New Zealand dollars, and I don't know how much that is in US dollars, so I can't really tell you. I think this is probably a better option if you're not living in North America. Usually Amazon or the original website's a better option if you're North America. Book Depository anywhere else in the world. This is really quite an expensive book considering the content, and when you compare it with Wizards of the Coast, it is actually quite an expensive book to actually purchase. It is actually a very good book, but it is expensive. Now, if you start comparing it with a competitor like Paizo, it's actually quite cheap, because if you go and buy the hard copy from Paizo for an adventure book of about the same length, you are probably going to pay less for the hard copy, but if you buy the PDF and the hard copy, you're going to pay a lot more. Now, you might have noticed a whole lot of different monsters in here. The Void Dragon. The Citadel of the Void Dragon is actually, there's a Void Dragon. You get to use that. But of course, you'll need the Tome of Beasts to actually utilize the stat block for it. I still recommend this book. I mean, it's expensive, but it's still a pretty impressive book. Now, this is one of my pet peeves, though. At the back, we have a page advertising Kobold Press, the Tome of Beasts, and I've done a review on this, and it's very good. Then we get a whole bunch of different products. That's page 2. Page 3, we've got Midgard Heroes and so forth, and Southland Heroes. So that's 3 pages of advertising, and then we go to the licensing details. I still feel it's an expensive product. I think it's a really clever product. It's the sort of product that I think more than a few people wanted to see Wizards of the Coast produce, and Tales from the Yawning Portal does that to a certain degree, but I think this just does it slicker, mainly because it is 4 or 5 pages, and that's it. There's nothing much else. I mean, the first adventure here is the Riverfront Rat Gang, and this is just basically going to introduce you to rat folk. It's a lair for them, and it's designed for level 1. The next adventure here is the Lost Halls of Everforge, and that's got a flaming dragon in it. It's basically a lair for a dragon, so awesome. And that's for level 3, which I have to say, facing a dragon at level 3 is pretty scary, but I suppose it's doable if you have a big enough party. Then you have the Den of the Rotten Kings, and that's basically a were-rat lair, and you can use that for level 3 characters. Nice artwork, it really is. it's all so easily laid out. I mean, you could be a new dungeon master, and this is just perfect for you. This is one I really like, the Clockwork Tower. You can see all the cogs and so forth. And this is going to introduce you to gremlins, specifically the gremlins that you can find in the Tome of Beasts. Level 3 characters for this adventure. Let's flick on through here. We've got the Doom Choker's branches, which is basically on a treetop. You're running around on trees. The Linderworm. It's a lair for a Linderworm. I don't honestly know too much about the Linderworm, but it's level 4 characters. And, oh, this might be the Linderworm here. And then the Castle of Sand. One of my friends spotted this and said, "Man, that's an awesome map." Hi there, big guy. I'll answer everything at the end. I'm almost finished. Castle of Sand. That's going to give you a desert oasis. Obviously, you can see that. The types of challenges in here, I'm not entirely sure, but that's for level 4 characters. Yes, that's right. They had a big thing in the Tome of Beasts about seductive women who are deadly. The femme fatale syndrome going. The Pirate's Cove. Love pirates, so having a Pirate's Cove as a lair is awesome. That's for level 5 characters. And it's got a Kraken spawn in it, if you're wondering what this is. The All-Seeing Eye. And this is basically introducing you to a strange monster, which is basically a collection of eyeballs. The Oculus Swarm. It's for level 5 characters. Here's the Oculus Swarm here, which is also from the Tome of Beasts. We've got the Alchemist's Guild Hall, and that's basically just a lair. If you want some sort of guild, that's really what it's all about. You know, you use the Alchemist's Guild location. For level 6 characters, a Lake Troll and a Russalaka. I'm not sure what the Russalaka is. And an Eel Hound. I think this is supposed to be the Eel Hound here. The Hive. This is going to introduce you to giant termites, should I say, sorry, which is actually the giant ant from the Tome of Beasts, and that's for level 6 characters. This sort of brings me back. This is the sort of thing I wanted to run because I have a thing for the movie Them. It's an old science fiction horror monster movie, essentially, with giant insects or ants taking over a city and causing trouble. So awesome to see that sort of thing. The Temple of Deep Ones, and this is introducing us to some sort of god. It's for level 7 characters. I'll keep moving along. Basically cultists and stuff like that. Here we go. The Monument of Thundering, or Thunderer? Gosh, it's a bit strange. Is that even a real word? Okay, so this is a desert half-dragon lair, and it's designed for 7th level characters. I'll just cycle on through here. The House of Reeds and Whispers, and this is designed for 8th level characters, and it's going to introduce you to the Red Hags. So if you wanted to have witches or hags of some kind, you're going to get that sort of thing. And here is a red hag here. The Tomb of Scorpion Prince, or of the Scorpion Prince. Look, I think this is basically somebody, hi there, basically seeing the the Scorpion King movie and deciding, let's make an adventure based off that. It's a tradition to copy stuff from movies for Dungeons and Dragons, so I don't see that being a big issue. So kind of fun. And they've got you a pretty nice map and location. It's for 8th level characters, and it's going to introduce you to things like mummies. And I believe it's a Rotting Wind. The Dark Forest. This is for 8th level characters, and it's going to introduce you to the Shadow Drake. And here's a Shadow Drake here. The Ruins of Umbral Tower, and that's for level 8 characters, and that's basically a Fey adventure. What do we got? got the Warlock's Crypt, so obviously there's going to be a Warlock involved, and it's for 9th level characters. And then we have the Aboleth's Grotto, and you're going to get the Nihilith, I believe it's the Nihilith Aboleth, and this is the Nihilith Aboleth here. Next we have the Bloodwood of the Kura Circle, and that's for 10th level characters, and that is a Blood Hag Lair. And then the Imperial Ghoul Outpost, and that's for 10th level characters, and obviously ghouls are going to be involved. Next the Cestine, and that's for 10th level characters, and it's Deep Drake is the key monster for this location, and here it is. We have the Fane of Serpents, and that's for 10th level characters again, and obviously there's going to be a serpent of some kind. Awesome looking map. The Sky of Stars, the Sky Stairs of Belstein. That's for 14th level characters. You're going to get a Vampire Warlock, and that'll really mess people up, I can imagine. The Citadel of the Void Dragons, and of course you're going to get a Void Dragon in this location. That is obviously going to be 14th level characters. And I think we're almost there. Just flick this page. The Triangle and Shadows, that is for 15th level characters, and you're going to be facing another vampire lair of some kind. And I think that's it. So yeah, it's a pretty impressive book. I don't have anything else to say about this particular product. I mean, if you found it helpful and useful, please share, like, and subscribe if you haven't done already. If you like my video, check out some of my other videos. If you have any questions about this particular product, you can ask it after the live stream I'm about to finish, and then I'll leave it running. Otherwise, you can just leave a comment in the comment section, ask your questions, and I'll answer those questions so that you know what you're buying. And until next time, keep rolling those 20s.